Hi, I'm on my way home. I'm only for a few minutes, but it should be long enough to talk about Amazon. So I think that's what we'll talk about today, this time. So I'm no longer working with Amazon. Amazon hires people seasonally, and they dangle the carrot of hiring you on permanently in front of your face. And you think that you're going into this with the possibility of getting your foot in the door somewhere. I mean, that's just common sense. But what happens is they hire very few people permanently, very few. And while you are seasonal, you're not allowed to apply for other positions within the company, which is very, very crazy. I mean, there might be one or two that you can sneak past or that will be open to seasonal, but for the most part, none of the other positions that are available are open to seasonal workers. You're better off not working there at all and just going for a permanent job. I did not know this, or I would have taken a different job that had been offered to me instead of this one. Once you get hired, they do with you whatever they want, basically. I was hired in tech support. I've spent a lot of time learning tech, studying different things for certifications, stuff like that, to get out of the world of retail. I worked in pizza forever with the public. I don't want to do the pizza. I don't want to do retail. I wanted to do tech support, and I worked really hard to get out of that. And I thought that I was getting my foot in the door somewhere in a tech department. No. They don't care if you know tech. All they care about is you know customer service. They teach you the tech, which not many people learn very well, but that's neither here nor there. Sometimes I wonder how people can turn on their computers. Anyway, beyond that, and they teach you the tech in a week. That's it. 2 weeks after I got out of training, they moved me to another department, which they didn't even ask, they just move you. And they moved me into retail from tech. And they did this during the beginning of the pandemic when shipping started going crazy. So we had all these people calling us up and yelling at us, and we were not allowed to tell them that it's a shipping issue, that all of the shipping companies are having this problem or whatever. We're not allowed to tell them any of that, or that you're not the only one. It's happening to everybody right now. We're not allowed to tell them any of that, and it wasn't widely spread in the news yet. So I spent 10 hours a day being screamed at by people because they didn't have their deliveries on time. There were days that I cried. There are people that, I mean, it affects you to sit there and have people scream at you all day. It affects you like that. It affects your mental health. There were people that had mental health breakdowns from it. I told them, I said, I applied for a tech support job. I'm a tech person. I don't want to be in retail. I spent a lot of time and money training myself to not be in retail, to be in tech. They didn't care. So eventually, anyway, I got moved back into tech when retail calmed down and tech support started to get busy, so they moved me back over. I had also told my manager that, look, I'm leaving retail one way or the other, whether you guys put me somewhere else or I go find another job. After I went back into tech, I hurt my back. And I couldn't sit in front of the computer for that length of time. It was a lot, and it hurt. And I am not the person who's ever sat in front of a computer or sat at a desk for long stretches of time. I was always on the go. I may have sat in my car, but I was in and out and I was doing stuff. You know, that's just not me. And it hurt a lot to the point where it was so painful. I couldn't sleep or anything. And so I went to the doctor. I ended up, they gave me some medication. I told my manager, which was probably a mistake on my part. She told me I had to take a leave of absence while I was taking the medication. The medication lasted for 2 weeks, so I went on leave of absence for 2 weeks. 3 months later, the people in charge of my medical thing finally got their act together to where I could come back. 3 months. Now, mind you, during this 3 months, I worked through all of my savings. I applied for unemployment, which I have not gotten yet. I guess I should go back and do workman's comp on that. I don't know. I have to talk to somebody and figure out what's going on with that. Which is why I'm thinking, you know, even though I'm unemployed now, again, that I'm not going to get unemployment because I haven't seen any from when that happened. I came back from that leave of absence October 6th. At which point, they should have put me back in the system, and I came back part-time because I couldn't sit full-time, so they gave me that accommodation, and that we had to go back and forth because they didn't like the way my doctor worded it, and my doctor's so mad at me by the time this was done because they kept making me go back and do this and go back and do that, and she was frustrated and fed up with me too, with Amazon. But anyway, so I was able to come back. I came back part-time, 20 hours a week instead of 40. They would not allow me to keep within the same schedule, and they wanted to schedule me on days that were previously my off days, which I had appointments on those days, and I couldn't do. So they made me very unhappy. I had to switch, so I ended up going to evenings, which I hate. I did not like evening. By the time I was supposed to start work, it felt like it was time to start to relax, to go to bed. And then working late, like I was scheduled off at 10, but you have to take calls up until the end, so there were days I didn't get off the phone literally until 1 a.m. My sleeping got so screwed up with that. Anyway, I came back October 6th. I noticed we get these things called unpaid personal time and paid personal time that are supposed to accrue. So for every so much that you work, you get this much added to that bank that you can draw from. Well, when they brought me back, they didn't bring me completely back in the system, so it wasn't being added to, and it just became a nightmare. At the end of the year, your time does not roll over. You have to use it or lose it. They still hadn't had it put back by the end of the year. We'd been fighting with them for months and months, trying to get them to fix this, and they never fixed it. So I would have to take off, and I didn't know if I had time left or not. I didn't have, I knew I had personal time, but they wouldn't credit it to me. So if I needed to take off for some reason, my check was short because I had to take an unexcused absence, for which my manager did not write me up for. But they told her she was supposed to, and she's like, no, I'm not doing that because you guys can't get your stuff together. And it was just a nightmare. Right after the first of the year, they told me that they were going to let me go. Still, my stuff isn't fixed. And I just, at this point, have had it with this company. And it wasn't just me. They're mass laying off everybody in all the departments. But at the same time that they're mass laying off people, they're still hiring. So I don't understand that. I had customers every day. You are the best tech support person, best person at Amazon I've ever talked to. I fought for my customers. I had the patience with especially the elderly customers trying to, and the people who were non-tech, putting things into words that they would understand and helping them do things. It just, the work I liked, the company I did not like. And there were other little things here and there that were just as bad. But, oh, and while I was on, like, after I came back from leave of absence, because they didn't fix my stuff right, I was back for, I think it was the end of November, beginning of December. They canceled my health insurance. Just canceled my health insurance. And I didn't even know it until, and they were still taking it out of my check. But I didn't even know that they had canceled it until I got the Cobra letter in the mail. And I'm like, what is this? And it was just, I spent more time with that company dealing with them screwing up my stuff than I did actually working. And at the end of it, they're like, okay, well, you have until this date to let us know if you want. Man, I don't know why my signal went out. I'm not moving. I don't know where you lost me, or where I lost you. But now I've been trying so hard to not burn that bridge, because Amazon has their fingers in so many things. But I'm like, it's not the job I didn't like. It's the HR stuff. And the HR stuff, that would be something I would have to deal with no matter what I did with Amazon. I don't want to work for this company ever again. I don't care if they become like Taco Bell and Demolition Man. I don't ever want to work for them again. It's just, you don't know if you're going to get your paycheck. You don't know, they screw up your stuff so you can't get your benefits. They take your benefits away willy-nilly just because they're so screwed up and incompetent. You don't have to know what you're doing to be hired for them. You don't. And they will just pick you up and move you into another department and say, here, go do it. And you don't know what you're doing. And it's ridiculous. And I don't know. Bezos acts like he cares about how people are treated and blah, blah, blah. But how can you be that unaware of what's going on in your own company? And Amazon has departments for departments for departments. It's ridiculous. It's like, if you have to blow your nose, okay, well, here's the department where you decide your nose needs blown. You got to go over here to get a box of tissues. Go over here to open up the box of tissues. Go to this department to take the tissue out. I mean, that's just how Amazon is. It's ridiculous. So that is my experience with Amazon and why I will never go back there. It's just bad, bad, bad. But I am going to go home now and get more work done at home. I have to get this car cleaned out so I can go make money tomorrow and do some stuff and organize my office. Garrett! Hello. This stream was all about my experience with Amazon. In case you missed it, I finished though. I was about to get off. I might go live later tonight. It depends on who all goes live. I had something that I wanted to do last week, but then with football and everything, it didn't happen. So I may do that tonight. But I'm going to leave it up to be a surprise. Surprise live. It does look great. It says it's 52 degrees, but if you look up at that tree up there, you kind of see it moving, maybe. It's very windy and the wind is cold. It's better than it was earlier. I figure I'd go home maybe another hour. It'll be cooled down enough I can clean out the back of the truck. I got my hands on a big bottle of sanitizer so I can refill all my little spray bottles. Which reminds me, I need to pull this out. And I'm hoping that they'll spray okay. I may need to add some rubbing alcohol to them to thin them out a little bit, but we'll see. But I want to be able to spray the back of my truck so I can carry groceries to people. But I'm going to go. I will. I'm sorry I was a little AWOL in your stream last night. I did have a lot of things I needed to get done last night to set myself up for this week. I have more things to do this week. Sunday night is kind of like the setup for the next week, and then Monday's my gonna be my admin day where I write down my numbers for the previous week and plan this week and anything else I need to do. It is really hard to watch everyone, but I usually watch you guys as much as I can. I need to start getting up earlier in the morning though, so I'm not sure how late I'll be able to stay. Oh, there's a dump truck over there. I'm like, what is that noise? I mean, I had the stream on, I just wasn't, and I was kind of half listening. I just wasn't able to completely pay attention to it. I need to go home. I need to get my stuff together so I can get some stuff done tonight. And I need to rearrange my office, and I haven't decided my little desk area, and I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet. So you get that Amazon computer out of there. Yay! But I'm going to go ahead and cut this so I can go home and do that. And I will talk to you guys later. Have fun. Have a wonderful day. Be well. And if anybody wants to chat, I'm on Instagram. That's where I do all my chatting. I probably should download one of those little chat apps. But I'm going to have a stream this weekend, you guys. One of our people is going to be walking around Austria, a town called Innsbruck. And unfortunately, because of the time change, we're going to have to do that at like 9 a.m. Eastern. So it's going to be really, really early for you guys, Garrett. You might still be up when it starts because it'll be on Friday. So Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. It'll be 3 o'clock their time, and it gets dark pretty early because they're up in the mountains. And he didn't want to be out wandering around after dark. So it'll be 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Austrian time. So I'm going to go. I have things to do. One of my clients has been texting me, and I need to see what she had to say. So I will talk to you guys later. Be well. Have fun. Don't get caught.